Wrong ear, bud. Look at that. Got the highlight up. Trying to start giving some visuals. Some of these different things that we got going on here. Yeah, that's a full. 1 second. I wanted to try to get the actual post in the feed so we could see the actual post. There we go. So the first two fights of UFC Seattle, I will not lie, I missed it. No excuses. I missed it though. I was watching Better Be of, I hope that's how you pronounce it, versus Dimitri Bivol. I'm not good with these names, man. I got to get a lot better with these names. That's just, I'm trying. The pronunciation of these names are pretty crazy. This would be the first, or not the first two, the first fight on the UFC Seattle card this past weekend. I'm not gonna lie, the whole card was pretty solid. The prelims was absolutely super exciting. Every single fight on the prelims was a finish, whether TKO, KO, submission, all of it was exciting. This would be the first fight that I missed. I actually didn't have this guy winning. I had the other guy winning. Very surprised by this one. This KO, super crazy, just gives it to him. Makes him slump down right there on the cage. Very brutal KO. Goes for the backflip. Barely lands it. He's not necessarily just a Gaethje or somebody else like that. But look, this is disgusting. Just kills the dude on the fucking cage. And you know it's bad when your head is bouncing on the top of the post. Just look at that. Like that last one was disgusting. The next fight, I actually thought that this dude, damn, I don't know how the fuck you pronounce this dude's name, but I had a feeling that this was going to end up this way. This dude's striking every time I watch him fight. Super fun, super exciting. Love to tune in. I cannot pronounce his name, but every time I see him, I'm like, I know this dude. I'm fucking tuning in. And look at this. Look at that. The same way, if you watch the Better Be of and Bivol fight, the guy that stepped in for Parker's opponent, Du Bois it was. Anyways, that dude, he was some sort of heavyweight boxing champion in the Congo, I believe they said on the card. But he basically had wobbly legs just like this when Parker touched the top of his head. This seems so crazy because the dude literally, he's like trying to get away and you could just see his legs come out from under him as he's falling backwards. Nasty stand up here and ground and pound on the cage to get this finish. Fucking nasty, man. He is brutal. He's also really big for this division, I'm pretty sure. Let me look up how tall this dude is. Pretty sure. Yeah, dude, 6'5". That's fucking crazy. At 185, I believe. That's a force to be reckoned with, man. He is definitely a good stand-up fighter. Very exciting whenever you see him on the prelims. This one ended up in kind of hilarious fashion. The dude that gets ground and pounded kind of embarrasses himself at the end of this. Austin Vanderford gets his debut finish. Amazing hair, bro. If I could grow it out myself. Actually, you know what? That might be the only thing I could grow out. I might have to do it, okay? Might have to do it. Keep the lineup, just, you know what I mean? Don't go to Turkey. Just keep the lineup like it is and grow out the back. You know, I don't think the girlfriend would like that. Either way, after he gets the ground and pound finish, look at what his opponent does. This Loki, pretty embarrassing, bro. How you gonna do this? Look at this. Just, he's obviously going to get cut. Absolutely going to get cut. You're going to go up to him and start pushing and shoving after you lost the fight. No idea why. No idea what for. But it's pretty clear that the UFC don't play about that. I think you can go ask, I think it was Daly. Didn't Daly throw a punch at somebody post-fight? Or I'm thinking maybe about somebody else entirely. Not a good look. Not a good look. Especially you're 12-6, dog. You think you're going to be protected like Khabib post-Conor? I don't think that's happening, dog. Bro. This knockout by Ricky Simone on, was it Basharat? Correct? Yeah, dude. Oh my God, dude. It was almost like every single one that you didn't really expect to just it happened, bro. UFC Seattle was pretty electric. If you didn't watch that card, you missed out on a great prelim. Look at this 1-2 by Simone. He just rewinding the clock and cleaning his too. Basharat, you became a meme overnight, dog. It's not good. It's he put on. I think he's actually, they said he's 2 hours away from UFC Seattle, in that area. Makes some sense, you know, hometown dude. Gotta put on for the fans. Obviously, this one, I don't know if a lot of people even talked about the Mansur Abdul Malik. This spinning back elbow, I think he was trying to go for a spinning back fist and then landed with the elbow. As Abdul Malik is rushing in, look at this elbow. Boom. Perfectly on the chin. If he didn't hold him on the cage, Klein could have had an opportunity to get the finish here. I don't think going for the takedown and shooting here was a good opportunity for him to try to advance for a win for himself, because I don't think you're gonna out wrestle this dude. He's a pretty good wrestler, and he seemed to be a lot bigger than you, almost like a 205er at 85. It was good to keep your distance like you were. I really liked how he took this fight. Klein did. The way he was, how do I say this? He was really low and strategic in keeping his distance from Mansur. And whenever he rushed in like this and taking that spinning elbow opportunity was perfect, because Mansur just wanted to go after him, as you could see here, where he gets the finish. Klein kind of gave up towards the end of the second round and just let Mansur just tee off on him with this nasty ground and pound. Him being undefeated, him being at 185, he said it in the post fight. John Jones is a beautiful black man. So am I. Hopefully Dana White sees that and gives me the bonus. I think that shit was hilarious. It's great to have someone with some personality, and as you can see, some activity. He still seems like he's got a lot to grow on, and that's the beauty of this sport. You're gonna eventually get those opportunities. If he can be the real deal, then we'll see it. He'll flourish. He'll shine in the UFC. It's fun to see him, even though this is my first fight really watching live of his. I'm excited to see him moving on in the future, because he's got some real prospects at 185 now that the division is not necessarily aging out, but it's definitely a turn at the top with the talent and how that goes. After that, another guy from the area. I don't know why Andre Fili decided to shoot on him, because this was literally his advantage. Acosta is a great submission artist. Don't know why you're going to go and take that opportunity to live in his world. I mean, as you could tell, Fili got the takedown, but look at this. As soon as he gets that, he wraps around, gets the guillotine real tight, and Fili was in trouble, then gets the leg over for leverage. It was over from there. You could tell Fili was, sometimes some of the commentators like to say, it's tight, it's in, oh my God. And it's not. Like, there was a couple of those, the co-main event, which we'll talk about. But this one, Paul Felder, I believe Paul Felder was the dude who had said it. I can't recall. But whoever did, they were spot on the money. They were like, I think it's in. I think it's tight. And here we go. Tap for Andre Fili to lose the main event of the prelims. Cutelaba. This is another reason why MMA math almost never works out. MMA math is a funny game. What was it? What fight was it? I think it was this one. No, I think it was this one. Hold on, let me go back. Let me double check. Yeah. Okay. So that the guy that opened up the card for the prelims, the guy that ended up losing, getting knocked out here, he ended up losing to the Ablin. Where is it? Who is he? Oh, Aslan. Sorry, my apologies. Aslan. So he ended up losing to Aslan, who then ended up getting this opportunity to headline the prelim card against Cutelaba. And Cutelaba then takes him out. I mean, it's just fucking hilarious. And I believe Cutelaba lost to that guy. Let me double check. No, I'm wrong on that one. Hilarious, though, how that ends up working out. They're both not ready to be at the top. And Cutelaba, maybe he's going to get that rematch against Roundtree. I keep seeing that online. But his post-fight was insane. He's like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anybody. It was like 185, 205, heavy, whatever. He was like going crazy. Just absolutely insane and hyped up for that one. Fucking crazy. Where is he from? Where's Cutelaba from? He's Moldovan. Interesting. Okay. Well, he's 19-1 or 19-10-1 now. 19-1-1. No, that's absolutely wrong. Now, we're going to get into the main card here. I thought this shit was hilarious. This guy's account is now deleted. All right. I guess he had called out Julius Walker. Julius Walker wasn't having any of that. That was the start of the main card with Menefield. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of people might not like that fight. The fight was not that great. Don't get me wrong. It was like watching. Who was it? King Mo and Dada 3000 or whatever that famous fight is where they're both like slopping around the fucking octagon in Bellator or wherever promotion that was. It just made me feel like this fight. But Julius Walker was on short notice. Menefield, I thought you were going to look better than that. But Julius, I can understand short notice. He's not even coming from a fighter's background. He was actually an ex-basketball player, which is crazy to think that he was able to take those shots, still stay in there, and hang with a top 15 middleweight in the world. There's a lot of progress. There is a lot to grow for Julius Walker. We're going to see if he can make those jumps in his game. I did love his clinch work. I did love some of the things he was doing. Obviously, dude was tired. Dude, cardio can make everyone a coward. It does not matter who the fuck you are. Everyone is a coward when it comes to cardio. And if you don't got it, good fucking luck, because that's just how it is. There's no secret to getting in shape. There's no like, oh, I got to take this pill. You beat your body down. You get in shape. That's how the game is. As simple as Bill Belichick would put it. That's how it is. You just got to put the work in. You got to put the grind in. And Julius, you're still younger in your career. You got pulled up on short notice. I still think that there's a lot to work on. I still think that there's a lot to grow. But the potential is there, in my opinion. You're very big. I think you're what, 6'4"? Big, or 6'3", one of those. Massive for the weight class. I'm excited to see your future here at 185. You were definitely taking some bombs and able to stay in there even dead tired. So even though buddy over here had to delete his account, whatever the case is, keep calling him out on Twitter, Julius. Buddy, this Gene Silva KO. This Gene Silva KO. I don't know why the ref's looking at him. I don't know what he's doing. He's just like, oh man, you know, maybe he'll get up after he just ate a 1-2 and basically bounced his head off the canvas, and Gene Silva's just looking over him, thinking, oh, should I take another couple of shots here? It's insane to me that some of these refs don't just, I mean, dude is absolutely fucking rocked. Look at that. Bomb. Over. He's like, come on, end it. The dude on the ground, he was like, end it. Like, what are you doing? He looked at the ref like, come on, it's over, right? Like, whether he's going to get the Bryce Mitchell matchup, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, because him versus Bryce Mitchell, I think anyone versus Bryce Mitchell, biggest number one enemy for a lot of people right now in the UFC. Huge name after this, you know, crazy, stupid shit that he wanted to say online. Is what it is. People want to crack at him. He said he wants to beat him so bad that Bryce Mitchell is going to see the earth round again. The buildup could be great. Is he going to visit Josh Emmett all over again? We'll see. I don't know. Now, sorry, I thought I had something in my eye. The Rob Font and what's it? Gene Matsumoto? Yeah, Gene Matsumoto. Bro, 25 years old, up and comer, one of the greatest in that division at that age. Look at what he did against Rob Font. Even though he might have lost, he gained the respect of a lot of fans. How exciting that bout was. He was in it till the end. That elbow up the middle by Rob Font cut him nasty on the head. Dude was a dog and kept going and going and going. On short notice, I think they said in the broadcast that his mom was even questioning why he's taking this fight against Rob Font. Either way, dude was on a win streak. Rob Font ended that shit, and he showed that he is not a gatekeeper in this division. He is not here. What's up, Ben? Rob Font is not a gatekeeper. All right. He showed that Gene Matsumoto, you got to get back to the drawing board, learn a little bit, grow a little bit. Being 25, you still have a lot to do in this sport, but very much won a lot of fans that night. Am I recording? I mean, I'm live streaming. I'm recording. Talking to people. What's up, Ben? Trying to be more consistent here. And instead of recording offline, I just do better online. So figured do whatever, talk to the chat. If people showed up, if not, just keep it going. Do I still want to fight MMA Guru? Honestly, it wasn't really him specifically. It was really just anybody. He's just probably the biggest name right now. I'm not against it still, but my body is still really beat to shit. But I can still figure it out. I can still get it done. We can get it done, Ben. I've been working out again. Real consistent. Just had a couple of hiccups with some injuries, but we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Bare knuckle. Have you seen the bare knuckle BKFC league or no? You know, people think what's really funny is I have psoriasis on my knuckles, so you see like they might be like red or whatever. People think I fight because of that, and my head's bald. Like they'll crack and bleed and shit. My knuckles. But it's just really funny because like I don't fight, but Some people think I do. Not what I do. Let me look this up. Hold up. This is what I wanted to talk about. All right, so the next fight, the co-main event is honestly Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. You have been ever since the Rodolfo Vieira fight. You've been one of my favorite sleeper fighters in this division. I've been rooting for you. Not that I'm against Brandon Allen, not that I'm against anybody else, but I've been rooting for you, and you showed up, you showed out, you dominated. That was a great exchange. Y'all fought in the championship at LFA like 5-6 years ago, and this was their second fight. It showed, and they knew each other to a T. Fluffy was just better. And to think that he beat Chris Weidman's record of takedowns at 185, and he's not known to be some sort of like American wrestler like Chris Weidman, is just also absurd because he's doing it sneaky and people are not seeing it. I love me some Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Every time he's going to be fighting, I'm going to be tuning in. Just what it is. And here, post-fight, I wanted to bring this up because I love DDP. Always poking at the division. I might not love him as my top fighter at 185. I'm a Sean Strickland fan, and to be fair, DDP whooped his ass in the second one, is what it is. To be fair, you gotta love and respect how he pokes at the division. You gotta love it. He is a gamer. Dude loves to fuck with people. And to have this, I don't know what's next either, but I can most certainly tell what ain't next for a very long time. Poking at Brandon Allen post-loss, because I guess him and Brandon Allen have gone back and forth. Brandon Allen wants to throw at him. Always talk when I drop a decision. When I'm winning, you're silent. We can't all get the guys on the way out. Claiming that he gets guys basically on their, on their decline. I don't know 100% how true that is. I would say that he fought Sean Strickland probably at his prime. Maybe Izzy, maybe Rob. I could see. I would really have to go through his whole career for the UFC. I mean, I don't think a lot of people, especially in the UFC brass, really had DDP to be this like major star either. So I don't think that he had some sort of major push, like perfect matchups either. He's a gamer, man. He worked his ass off to get to this opportunity, and he made it tenfold. He really showed up and showed out. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm right about everything, but he proved me wrong. He did. He proved me wrong 1,000%. He's become this great champion who's been able to do it in a way that no one else really has. And that's what I admire, is the fact that when you look at the way he fights versus Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland, you know how they're going to fight you. You don't know how Dricus is going to come. That's the deciding factor. And you always hear, like, to me, I'm gonna compare it to this. You always hear big veteran fighters like, I don't want to say a name specifically, but where they won't spar with like up and comer new classes or whatever, because people that don't know how to fight and that are learning are always very wild and unpredictable. That's what it seems like. Even though Dricus is a champion and he's this top level at 185, best in the world, the dude is just so unpredictable, and you can't compare his game to somebody else to then get a read on it, to then prepare for. It's very difficult, a fight versus Dricus. And of all people, I thought Eric Nixick did a great job coaching Sean Strickland. It's just Sean Strickland wasn't able to get it done. And sometimes Dricus being as unpredictable and there's no pattern there, it's very hard to get a read when you're Sean Strickland. So this year, as champion, I'm not your biggest fan, Dricus, but you're making me one. You're making me a fan, man. I can't lie. Because of your antics, the way you are in the octagon, you put on great fights, and the way you are outside the octagon. It doesn't have to be some per se bad boy image like a John Jones doing whatever, or you're out there being yourself, saying whatever, people saying, oh, you're gay and you have a fiance and shit. I mean, because there was photos of him kissing his coach or something under the Eiffel Tower. A lot of shit has been thrown Dricus's way. And dude, just like water, just keeps it going. And you got to love and respect that. I don't know what's next for Brendan Allen, but I think Dricus is right. He certainly ain't next for him. And Brendan Allen now makes his way out of the top 10 as Fluffy makes his way in from 9 and 12 rankings. This is going to be good for Fluffy because Fluffy, the top 5, the top 10, there's a lot of matchups I would love to see. And I'm a major fan of Anthony Hernandez. So be on the watch for him for the top of the middleweights. Him versus Dricus, I don't know. I really don't know. Obviously, we have Hamzat next, but that could be a fun matchup that I don't think a lot of people could see as like, oh my God, this is a great bout. But it could be one of those, to be honest with you. That's how confident I am in Anthony Hernandez. Now, the main event, let me pull that up. That's actually one thing I forgot to do. The Cejudo injury. Hold on. Oh, what the? His eye is horrible, by the way. His eye is horrible. Look at this. So, I was wrong. He did not win. Henry Cejudo, I picked you. I really did. I really thought you at a plus 200, you coming off 2 losses against Aljo, against Marab, 2 of the top at 135. I really thought that there was an opportunity for you to then get your way back into the top 5 against Song Yadong. And then in the 3rd round, you get a nasty eye poke. I'm not blaming Song. I'm not blaming Henry. I mean, it's just what happens sometimes in the fight. I would say what I do not like is that he went right back to having his hands out, right? So if the if the ref is going to tell you, hey, look, I might not take a point now because it seemed like an accident, but then you go right back to it and like putting him out and putting him like, it just made it seem like he didn't care, try to change or be more cautious about the eye pokes. And obviously that's a fucking problem. I don't think anybody in the sport likes eye pokes, especially having a main event ended on an eye poke. Henry Cejudo, you could tell immediately this fight was probably not going to continue, but he, in my opinion, really tried to tough it out. When you get this opportunity here, when you're down 2 losses and you got an up and comer like Song Yadong at 27 and you're 38, trying to make a return back to gold. Personally, I don't see why he would have wanted out. It's not like he got dropped. I mean, he's been in a tougher war against Marlon Moraes and then come back. Not, I mean, obviously 2 different eras in his career, but Henry to me is just not the type of guy to want a way out. You know, having a loss like he did against Marab, the way he did, I think should alone be, that should prove the naysayers and the doubters on whether he wanted out of this fight or not. Because look, I mean, this is not a joke. When you're seeing double, when you got blood in your eye, I think he said a fucked up cornea. Let me see. Diplopia, soft tissue damage, and corneal abrasion. Quote, he wanted a way out. That's just how I see it, man. Henry Cejudo, I'm with you on this one. It's tough to say. It's tough to see you go out this way. Excuse me. Almost burp. Get my headphones. It really is tough to see you go out this way. I think, personally, I know a lot of people had Song up 3-0, possibly, maybe 2-1. I had Henry up 2-1. I don't know if that was bias or not because I did have him winning the fight. I'm just saying, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it was bias. I was watching it live. I thought he started to really get better as the fight continued. Song didn't do anything crazy. I don't know. I think that this just kind of fucked up the way of his career. Obviously, the retirement did that, but having now lost, I guess technically 3 in a row, it's very tough to come back into the top 10 like that. At least it ended this way, post him getting knocked out, or opposed to him getting knocked out. It's just very difficult, and you're not going to get that rematch, in my opinion, because I don't think many people wanted to see Song versus Henry 2. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are signing up for that one, especially the way that it seemed to a lot of people, where they had Song up and I didn't. I mean, is what it is. I could see him going against somebody else if he wants to try to make that return. I don't know if this is going to be his last one or not. I don't know if Triple C is going to go out this way with this eye injury, or if he's going to try to make a return back into the top 10. I mean, he's still going to be in the top 10, but whether he's going to really make a push back for that title after coming off 3 losses is very tough. And you're going to have to heal this shit up, because having an eye injury is no joke. That is not fun to deal with. I mean, I think Bilal Muhammad had talked about his eye surgeries. I think even pre-Leon Edwards drama, but post-Leon Edwards fight, where the first one where he got poked in the eye and they ended it early, he had some sort of surgery for like 3 months, or like a recovery for 3 months, I'm sorry. And he had to lay in this like massage table with his face down and to go to sleep. Like, very insane shit. The recovery for eye injuries is pretty damning. Either way, that was UFC Seattle. I thought it was a great card. Let me know what you think as well. Very exciting prelims. The main card wasn't as great, but I thought some of those decision fights were actually solid, like the Brennan Allen and Anthony Hernandez. The first one could have gone better, even though it went to decision. Very tiresome for Julius Walker and Alonzo Menafield. Hopefully we can see him improve Julius and get back into the top 15 outside of his debut. Hopefully next weekend is another great card, which we'll talk about a little later in this week on another stream. Another thing I want to talk about after this. Now, we're going to shift over to football. And I know what you might be thinking. Oh, hold on. I got to grab something. Actually. Need some water. I need some water before I get into this next one. This topic here, this is near and dear to my heart. All right. Top quarterbacks of all time now. All right. Top quarterbacks of all time. Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Dan Marino, John Elway, Brett Favre, and Johnny U. I'm not going to do a top 10. I feel like that's a little steep. Maybe it gets to that level. But I figured I needed to talk about this because how is Peyton Manning above Patrick Mahomes on this all-time list? I don't see it. I will forever go against Peyton Manning being better than Patrick Mahomes because it's not true. It is not true at all. Peyton Manning barely has a ring, yet alone 2. In my opinion, each one's 0.5. All right. And that could be just because I'm a hater. But when you go against a Rex Grossman and Von Miller wins you your second one, dog, that's a half point for each ring. All right. You really got one championship, Peyton. This is what it is. And you can tell I am a Patriots fan. So keep that in mind, Indianapolis. It is what it is now. This top 10 list, Patrick Mahomes is easily by far better than Peyton Manning ever was, will be, is, always. Just understand that. So him being on this list below Peyton, you can already tell that this list is blasphemous. And the fact that Johnny U is at 10 and they don't even have an Otto Graham on here at all. I mean, who's making this list at all? This is insane. Like, top 5 is Drew Brees, or I'm sorry, top 6 is Drew Brees above a Dan Marino. I'm not buying it. I'm not doing that. Like, John Elway is less, or I'm sorry. That's okay, actually. I'm all right with John Elway at 8. Peyton shouldn't, or Peyton. Brett Favre should not even be on the top 10. If we're being real. Brett Favre should not even be on the top 10. Tom Brady. Tom Brady is clearly the greatest of all time. Greatest quarterback of all time. Greatest football player of all time. Not even close. Maybe LT, maybe Dion, maybe Barry. Those are the only 3 that I say that have a possibility for Tom Brady. I'm just saying. Or maybe Charles Haley, because that's up there. He's got 5 rings. Definitely a swayer in team momentum and winning. But Tom Brady, the greatest above them all. Peyton Manning, bro, he's number 5. If I had to do this list, right, it would go Tom Brady as number 1. Joe Montana for right now as number 2. Patrick Mahomes as number 3. You ready? Johnny Unitas at number 4. Oh yeah, buddy. Don't sleep on the U. And Peyton Manning at number 5. There you go. And Aaron Rodgers, he's got a case to be better than Peyton Manning. But he don't have another ring. So I can't do it. If they're tied with rings, in my opinion, got to give the nod to Peyton. Because at least Peyton went through New England. He had to deal with the monster. And Aaron Rodgers couldn't do that. The monster could have been anyone for Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers just still hasn't been able to do it. So the rest of this list, to be honest with you, Dan Marino needs to be higher. He needs to be above Drew Brees, bro. If Dan Marino is less than Drew Brees on any list, you don't know ball. And I'm not saying that as a hater. I'm saying that to anybody sincerely. If you have Drew Brees above Dan Marino on your all-time list, you don't know ball. Okay? Just truth. So him being below Drew Brees here absolutely makes no sense to me. But hey, I'm not the one that made this list. I do have him better than John Elway, Dan Marino. Even though John Elway has 2 rings, you can thank TD to that. Brett Favre being on this list to me makes no sense. He'd be off this list ASAP, and I would easily put Otto Graham. So, I don't know why that this is the way it is. I would do Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes, Johnny U, Peyton Manning. Okay, that's my top 5. Then I go Rodgers, Marino, Brees. If I had to go with the rest on here, Elway, and then Favre. Excuse me. But if I really had to choose, I would take Favre off and I'd put Otto Graham. Let me know what your top 10 or top 5 would be, because that's the way I'd go about it, to be honest with you. I don't put no value in Peyton Manning. He ain't that great. All right. His brother's also ass. Just to be clear. This ain't not because I'm a Patriots fan. When you lead the league in interceptions multiple years, I mean, bro, like, how are you a Hall of Famer? Just because you catch lightning in a bottle and beat the greatest team of all time, does that make you a Hall of Famer? No. That doesn't make anybody a Hall of Famer. That means you made your name off of beating the greatest team of all time one time in the biggest game. that does not mean Hall of Fame. So anyone that says Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, bro, you got to go reevaluate your Hall of Fame. Please understand that, please, because it's just absurd. It is absolutely absurd. Think that might be it. Might be it for right now. Love and appreciate the support. Hopefully we get some more and stay continuing on it. Just stay consistent here. I'm going to keep uploading, keep putting clips together, keep trying to go live with different topics I want to talk about. Is what it is. I'm a little more comfortable when it comes to going live. It's just naturally who I am. So it's going to be a little easier to get this done opposed to doing the recording. I know sometimes I can get caught up. Just it's, a lot quicker to do, instead of being live for whatever amount of time and kind of going through everything. So love and appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Hopefully check out the videos and the clips. Peace.